Hi, this is Unruly Anime. Wolf Children is the title of today's anime. At the beginning of the film, we hear a girl named Yui tell us of a magical tale, a tale so unbelievable that people make fun of her. It is the tale of her mother, Hana, who fell in love with a wolf. Her mother was a student at Tokyo University. One day, she came across a mysterious boy in her classroom she had never seen before. The boy looked out of place in the class with his ragged clothing. When class ended, the boy left the class without filling out his attendance. Hana chased after him, but he coldly answered her, saying that he wasn't a student at the university and that she shouldn't have bothered. Hana still invites the boy to come for the class again and share her textbook. We discovered that both Hana and the boy work jobs to support themselves. Over the coming days, the two develop a strange relationship in which Hana shares her textbook with him and allows him to use the university facilities under her name. The two individuals engage in a conversation, asking each other many questions. She says her dad named her Hana after a flower to make her smile through life's challenges. Just like a flower, the time they spent together grew, and they started waiting for each other. One night, the boy reveals that he wanted to have a home for himself, a place where he could belong. Hana sneaks in a cheeky line, saying that she could belong there too, if he doesn't mind. Christmas time rolls around and Hana hurries to the usual meetup spot, but the boy isn't there. Hana waits in the cold for hours without any success. Finally, the boy arrives and apologizes to Hana. He takes her atop a hill and asks her to close her eyes before he transforms into a wolf, revealing his true form. The boy had human and wolf blood from her race. The two then make love, and Hana vows to never leave him. They move in together and their lives become colorful. They shop and eat together. Hana finds out she's pregnant and decides to handle it alone out of fear of the hospital staff's reaction if they find out the father. As the snow fell outside, Hana gave birth to Yuki, their firstborn daughter. The two again vowed to do everything possible to make their daughter happy. The following spring, Hana has Aim, a son. It rains the day Aim is born, and the father leaves but doesn't return. Worried, Hana grabs her children and goes out in search of her husband. She comes across some rescue workers pulling a wolf's corpse out of the river. It is him. He had perished while hunting for fresh meat for his newborn. Hana wept as they loaded his body into the truck and drove away without her. Hana swears to take excellent care of their children on her own. She has her hands full taking care of two wolf-human hybrids, and it is not an easy job. They are always switching between wolf and human forms and wreaking havoc around the house. Neither Hana nor the children know how to go about it. Hana must do everything alone, like caring for sick kids and managing their looks. The problems start to grow, and people start to be suspicious of Hana and her kids. The landlord even says they don't allow any pets in the building. Hana decides to move to the countryside so that the kids can have some more freedom growing up. She chooses an abandoned junk house in the middle of nowhere. The place looks like it had been through a war, but Hana is adamant about living there. She fixes the place entirely by herself. From carpentry to roof repair, she does it alone. Throughout this experience, she makes the kids promise to never transform in public and to keep their ability a secret. Things are finally going well, but the team is starting to run out of money. Hana decides to learn gardening so that they can be self-sustainable. She plows the fields and lays the seeds, but the crop turns out to be terrible. She tries again and again, but she keeps getting the same results. Hana lets the kids hunt to teach them survival skills. Yuki is first and learns how to hunt in no time, whereas Aim is a bit shy that seems disinterested. One day, Amo breaks down in tears and says that he doesn't want to be a wolf because in the picture books, the wolves are always the bad guys, and they always get killed in the end. Hana claims she likes wolves to Aim. Later, the new crop of plants had wilted again. An old man from Nirasaki's village visits Hana's home and tells her she's not cut out for this life, then drives away. Hana is depressed, but Nirasaki sends his daughter with seed potatoes. Nirasaki starts coming up to himself to mentor Hana on how to grow vegetables. He's a bit harsh in his ways, but he teaches Hana a lot about farming. Soon afterwards, other people from the village also start coming up to help Hana. Two men approach her and teach her a lot more about farming. They teach her how to use fertilizer and plant certain vegetables to repel bugs. Although they fight more among themselves over their disagreements, they still help out Hana a lot. Hana also begins to bond with her neighbors and finds that she has a supportive community. She recalls that moving to the country may have been the best choice for the kids. One snowy day, as they are playing in the forest, Amy slips and falls into the river. Yuki manages to save him from drowning, but this triggers a tragic memory inside Hana. She remembers how the father of her children died and breaks down in tears when she finds Amy and Yuki washed up on the bank. The long winter passes, and Yuki has reached the age to start school. She does everything possible to convince Hana to let her go, and it works out. Hana agreed to let Yuki go to school if she promised never to turn into a wolf in front of other people to support the kids. Hana takes up a job as a conservationist. Some time passes, and Yuki is coming to a realization that she is different from the other girls too. While they are out in the field picking flowers, Yuki is catching snakes. Other girls also weren't collecting bones of dead animals and mummified lizards. Yuki vows to be more ladylike and adjust to her new school, but Aim struggles. Years pass and Yuki grows into a diligent little girl, but Aim couldn't be more disinterested in school. Hana started taking Aim up to her job at the conservatory. As he goes farther from school, he spends more time in nature. On the other hand, Yuki's class gets a new transfer student, Sohei. Sohei realizes that Yuki is different from the other girls. Yuki starts avoiding him after he makes a remark about how she smells like she has a dog at home. One day, Sohei corners Yuki and asks her if he did something to make her enraged. Yuki goes wolfish and hurts Sohei's ear, even though she didn't mean to. Hana has called the school for Yuki's actions, but during the meeting, Sohei says that it was a wolf who did this to him and not Yuki. This saves Yuki from much of the blame and leaves Sohei's mother speechless. Yuki goes to her mother and apologizes for her actions, saying that she didn't mean to do it. A few days pass and Yuki hasn't been going to school, so So goes to her home to check up on her. He leaves the homework for the day at their doorstep and leaves without saying anything. This continues as So keeps bringing homework and snacks for Yuki to eat. One day, Hana invites him inside for something to drink, and so he tells her that he doesn't want Yuki to stop coming to school and that she wasn't the one who hurt him. Sohei and Yuki make up and eventually become close friends. Meanwhile, Aim has been spending more time in the mountains. He tells Hana that someone he calls Sensei teaches them all about life and that he lives up in the mountains. Aim blurts out that the person he calls Sensei isn't actually a person, but in fact, a fox. The fox teaches Aim all about surviving in the wild and being an animal, as Aim grows more and more connected to his inner wolf. One day, Yuki and Aim get into a fight over whether they are wolves or humans. The two fail to reach an understanding and the whole house is in shambles. As a result of their fight, Hana tries to come to terms with the fact that her kids are growing up and starting to choose their path. Nami is increasingly spending time in the mountains. In one particular year, a record number of storms occurred. During one of these storms, Umi's sensei hurts his leg. Ami goes home to tell Hana that the forest needs a new guardian and that someone has to take his place. Hana tries to persuade Aim not to leave, explaining that he is still just a kid. The next day, a severe rainstorm hits the area. Hana is called to pick Yuki up from school due to the weather, and Aim sneaks out to the mountains. While she is on call, Hana tries following him out in the rain, but the weather conditions are too extreme for her. She tries her best to call out to him, but Aim doesn't respond. After searching for Aim to no avail, Hana breaks down and starts crying. She collapses from a cliff, injuring herself and passing out. Her last thoughts are of protecting her children at school. The only survivors are Sohei and Yuki. Yuki comes clean to Sohei, saying that the wolf he saw that day was her. Sohei says that he had known all along and that she didn't need to worry anymore. Yuki feels relieved and thanks Sohei. Meanwhile, Hana has a vision of her children's father saying that she did a wonderful job raising their kids. He also says that Aim is an adult now and has found his calling. He tells Hana not to worry about him anymore as she passes out. Aim carries his mother to a safe place and leaves without saying a word. Hana calls out to him, but he runs away. Aim howls as the sun rises and Hana realizes he belongs. The two look at each other as they both know that this is goodbye. The next year, Yuki moves away to live in the dorm of her junior high school. Hana smiles and reminisces about the time she had spent raising her children. Yuki knows that she can leave, as her mother would be happy alone. Hana continues to reside in that old house in the countryside, where she is single but content. There were times when she would listen to Wolf's House and smile once more, thinking about her family. I appreciate you viewing my anime recap, Unruly Family. Please let me know what you think about this anime recap by liking, sharing, and commenting, and please subscribe to the channel to help us reach 5,000 subscribers.